Dimitria, fuck. Why don't we move on? I went to see Aquaman. Saw the trailer, thought it would be a pile of shit, but I felt I was obligated since I had a YouTube channel, and you can see what happened. It was a packed house. I don't drive, so I had to get an Uber there and back. That was about 30 bucks. And I had to get my own food, coffee, $20 ticket because it was in glorious IMAX 3D. How much money is that? So I go in. Before this superhero movie, I had to watch trailers that were all about superheroes or superhumans. Superheroes learning to be humans, humans learning to be superheroes. Then you have a couple that is behind me, and when the movie starts, the guy can't shut the hell up because somehow he thinks that symbolizes how huge his cock is. This is the super macho side of me. I got up and I gloriously shaked my head, went down to the front row that was empty. So I really showed him. I felt like this would have been better, that, you know, I'm talking to you, because I think it would be better for it to be a little more personal, I think. If you like 1990s costumes that cost tens of dollars, if you like 1980s, 1990s, we'll say late 90s, fantasy worlds that you just want to plaster with PS2 effects, figures running around in it who are so elastic, this will be great for you. I guarantee that. You know, there's those scenes in movies, the scene of Hannibal and Clarice, they speak of the lambs. If you watch that scene in the movie, it's still a great scene. But if you watch it by itself, it is unbelievably more effective. The same thing about 12 Years a Slave. If you watch a movie like that in segments, this one might be in the same field. No scene feels connected. It is constant numbering, paint by numbers. We are going to do this because this genre tells us we have to do that. Not because the characters will react that way, not because the character of the movie itself, its mood, warrants such a scene. There are scenes in this that even the Rambo movies would call derivative. It is a remake, it is a hybrid of Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. Even though the visual effects are horrendously fake, there's no sense of weight to them. The colors are all over the map. It's like someone just put several colors of paint and just dumped it all in. There is the first scene where you see Aquaman. That was pretty cool. When he hit somebody, it really felt like he hit somebody. You have all of these A-list actors. You have Nicole Kidman, who you could argue is cinema's queen of sharp eyes. One of the greatest set of eyes in cinema. And you don't have her be menacing, have that glare about her. She commands no presence. You have Willem Dafoe. You have Ivan Drago, Patrick Wilson. Was anybody listening to whatever in the fuck they were saying? That whole segment, whenever this movie cuts, it is just going, we're here now. There's no build-up. There's no atmosphere whatsoever. How does gravity work in the city of Atlantis? Be fucked if I know. We're just doing the same thing over and over again. You have this sentimental speech that you're going to rise up and save this world from the bad things that I have fought, blah, 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 blah. Someone is going to convince the hero, who's very reluctant to join in this fight, which is Amber Heard, who makes the makeup team completely a mockery of themselves. This is the most 2010s makeup style. Nothing about it looks ancient or stylistic. The only good scene that really did get a laugh out of me was the bar scene. That was pretty funny. But whenever it has to cut to somebody else, I remember there were these two antagonists in the submarine. They're acting their ass off, but it just comes out of nowhere. It doesn't go, okay, the director and the writer legitimately want to go here. It's, no, we have to have the sentimental scene here. Now we need the comedic scene here. Now we need this scene from Captain America Civil War. We need this scene from Spider-Man. We need this scene from Wonder Woman. There has not been a great superhero movie in 5 years. So what are we doing now? I've been burned by Deadpool, Logan, Infinity War, the last Thor movie, Wonder Woman. It's all blending into the exact same movie. I don't know what the difference is supposed to be between Marvel and DC. What's so special about Aquaman? What's so special about Wonder Woman? Dialogue is 20 years too late. The visual effects are god-awful. The camera is way too liberal with itself. So there's no... everything is so plastic. Everything stretches. It's like watching very pretty Play-Doh. The acting is so stilted. Jason Momoa, you are quite the beautiful man. I will admit that. And I think you can take on a badass role, even outside of Game of Thrones. I was one of the few who liked his take on Conan the Barbarian. But when I saw the trailer and when I saw him in this movie, when you have someone who is everything that encompasses masculinity and brutality, but he's the protagonist, he has all the one-liners. This guy is a blockbuster darling. Too bad that doesn't mean he's good. Every single blockbuster is about someone with an incredible amount of power. Maybe it started with X-Men, maybe it started with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. We're still asking for it. When is this gonna stop? When is this gonna end? We think breaking the fourth wall and acknowledging these cliches and stuff like Deadpool, the Batman Lego movie, Into the Spider-Verse, we think that's all of a sudden clever when YouTubers did this years beyond when these movies came out. The R-rated films are far from what you would want to expect from an R-rated superhero movie. The action scenes, I'm burned out, man. How many times can we see a godly figure take down people? Two super powerful people going at it. This needs to stop. I get it. We all want to be Superman. You know, we all want to be that god, and we all want to conquer internally and externally in the most exaggerated of ways. But why don't we write something that is, do I dare say this, new? Something that isn't written in ink 50 years ago. Wouldn't it be lovely to see a blockbuster that isn't a sequel, a remake, rehash, reboot? We can do better. I know I'm throwing words at a wall. They don't listen to us. The audience won't care what I think. They're still gonna go see it. They're gonna see Avengers Endgame. They're gonna see Shazam, Deadpool 6 when it comes out. Just because I think it's tired, we have completely burned out this genre, that doesn't mean I'm better than you. If you want to see it, if you love superhero movies, you might get into this. You might say, I'm glad I saw that. It might be harder because visually it's like Rocky Horror Picture Show would call this silly. That's what I think. I'd love to hear who agrees. And I would say I love to hear who disagrees, but I know all of you do. I hope the 2020s will breathe new light into cinema. Maybe we can get, flesh and blood back in there. We can get everyman's, literally everyman's, R-rated movies that are supposed to be R, not having to see art house films to see something new. I had my fun. I had my fun with Spider-Man, Batman, with the Avengers. And I'll never forget them. Who are the new heroes? Who are we? Who are you? See you next time.